only 2% of people truly succeed in life. That is the harsh reality. Most people will never reach their full potential. They will never experience the kind of success, fulfillment, and freedom that they dream about. And it is not because they lack talent or intelligence. It is not because they were born into the wrong circumstances or because life is unfair. It is because they refuse to face the truth. They refuse to do what is necessary. They refuse to take responsibility for their own results. The hard truth is that success is not for everyone. It is earned, not given. And most people simply are not willing to pay the price. They want the results, but they do not want the process. They want the reward, but they do not want the sacrifice. They want to be successful, but they are not willing to live the kind of life that success requires. And that is why they stay stuck. That is why they start and stop, why they get excited but never follow through, why they make progress for a while and then fall back into old patterns. Most people think success is about luck or opportunity. They think that the people who succeed had advantages that they did not have. But that is not true. The people who succeed are not the ones with the most talent or the most resources. They are the ones who make a decision to commit fully, to take responsibility for their actions, and to keep going even when it is hard. And that is why only 2% of people ever reach that level. Because the other 98% are not willing to push through the discomfort, the resistance, the boredom, and the uncertainty that success requires. Success is simple, but it is not easy. The truth is, the path to success is not complicated. It is not some mystery that only a few people have figured out. The principles that lead to success are well known. Discipline, consistency, focus, responsibility, resilience. These are not secrets. Everyone knows what it takes to succeed, but most people still fail. Not because they do not know what to do, but because they refuse to do it consistently. They are not willing to commit to the daily habits, the small decisions, the hard choices that success demands. They want success to be easy, and it never will be. The 2% who succeed are not special. They are not smarter or more talented than anyone else. They are simply more committed. They are more focused. They are more disciplined. They are willing to stay locked in when everyone else gets distracted. They are willing to keep working when progress is slow, when results are not coming fast enough, when things feel impossible. They are willing to sacrifice comfort for progress. And that is why they win, because they do what most people are not willing to do. Most people want to succeed, but they are not willing to become the kind of person that success requires. They are not willing to wake up early. They are not willing to train when they feel tired. They are not willing to stay disciplined when no one is watching. They are not willing to make the tough decisions, to cut off distractions, to stay focused when life gets difficult. But the 2% who succeed, they do all of that and more. They embrace the discomfort. They lean into the struggle. They make success a non-negotiable, not just something they want, but something they are committed to at the highest level. And that is why they succeed while everyone else makes excuses. Because success is not a matter of luck or talent. It is a matter of choice. It is a matter of deciding that you will not accept anything less than your full potential. It's a matter of deciding that you will do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, to become the kind of person who succeeds. Most people never make that decision. Most people talk about success, but they never truly commit to it. They dabble, they try for a while, but when things get hard, they quit. And that is why they stay stuck. That is why they never break through. That is why they will never be part of the 2%. The reason only 2% of people succeed is because most people are not willing to develop the level of discipline that success requires. Discipline is the foundation of everything. Without discipline, talent means nothing. Without discipline, hard work is inconsistent. Without discipline, motivation fades and progress disappears. The people who succeed are the ones who have trained themselves to stay disciplined, even when they do not feel like it. They are the ones who execute, no matter what. And that is why they rise, while everyone else stays stuck. Most people fail because they operate based on how they feel. If they feel motivated, they work hard. If they feel tired, they take the day off. If they feel discouraged, they give up. But success is not built on feelings. It is built on commitment. The 2% who succeed have conditioned themselves to take action regardless of how they feel. They have removed emotion from the equation. It does not matter if they are tired. Does not matter if they are frustrated. Does not matter if they are uninspired. They do the work anyway. And this is what separates them from the 98%. Most people wait for motivation before they act. They wait until they feel like it. But the people who succeed know that motivation is unreliable. They know that if they wait to feel inspired, they will waste their entire life waiting. They do not rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They create habits, routines, and disciplines that keep them locked in, even when motivation is gone. And that is why they are able to keep progressing long after everyone else has stopped. Discipline is not about working hard once in a while. It is about working hard every single day. Most people can push themselves for a day or a week. They get fired up. They make big plans. But as soon as life gets difficult, as soon as progress slows down, they stop. They lose momentum. They convince themselves that it is not working. But the truth is, it was working. They just stopped too soon. The people who succeed are the ones who keep showing up, even when they do not feel like it, even when results are not coming fast enough, even when progress is invisible. They keep working because they know that consistency compounds over time. And here is the truth most people ignore. The results you want will not come quickly. Most people quit because they expect results too fast. They work hard for a week, a month, maybe even a year. But when they do not see massive progress, they lose faith. They start questioning themselves. They start looking for easier paths. And that is why they fail. But the 2% who succeed, they understand the long game. They know that success is not an event. It is a process. It is not about what you do for a month. It is about what you do for years. The people who succeed at the highest level are not the ones who work the hardest for a short time. They are the ones who stay disciplined for the longest time. They are the ones who are willing to show up every day, year after year, with the same intensity and focus, even when it feels like nothing is happening. They are the ones who refuse to let emotions control them. They stay consistent, not because it feels good, but because they have made a decision that success is non-negotiable. Most people cannot handle this level of discipline. They want to take days off. They want to live a little. They want to enjoy the weekends. And that is why they stay average. The 2% who succeed are not interested in average. They are not trying to balance comfort with progress. They have committed fully to the process. They have made the decision that they will sacrifice comfort for progress. They will sacrifice distractions for focus. They will sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment. And that is why they keep moving forward while everyone else stays stuck. This is why discipline is so powerful. Because when you are disciplined, you are in control. You are not ruled by emotions. You are not thrown off course by setbacks. You are not distracted by what is happening around you. Discipline allows you to keep moving forward no matter what. And over time, that consistent effort builds massive separation between you and everyone else. The truth is, success is not about talent. It is about execution. It is about who can stay consistent the longest. It is about who can keep working even when motivation is gone. It is about who can stay disciplined when life gets hard, when the results are not showing up, when nothing feels like it is working. And the people who succeed are the ones who have mastered the art of discipline. They do not stop. They do not give themselves options. They do not take days off. And that is why they rise while everyone else stays stuck in cycles of inconsistency. Most people want success, but they are not willing to give up comfort to get it. They want to be in shape, but they are not willing to follow a training program consistently. They want to be successful in business, but they are not willing to work 12-hour days while others are sleeping. They want to be financially free, but they are not willing to make sacrifices and control their spending. And that is why they stay where they are. Because success is not for the ones who want it. It is for the ones who are willing to pay the price for it. The 2% who succeed have accepted this reality. They understand that success comes at a cost, and they are willing to pay that cost over and over again for as long as it takes. They are willing to sacrifice comfort, distraction, entertainment, and short-term pleasure. They are willing to work through discomfort, through resistance, through boredom. They are willing to stay locked in while everyone else is taking breaks. And that is why they eventually rise to the top, because they have trained themselves to do what others are not willing to do. So now the question is, are you willing to develop this level of discipline? Are you willing to stay consistent even when motivation is gone? Are you willing to work through discomfort, through resistance, through setbacks without letting up? Because the truth is, success is not about talent. It is about discipline. The 2% who succeed are not necessarily smarter or more gifted. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who keep showing up when everyone else stops. They are the ones who train themselves to work harder and longer than anyone else. And that is why they win. The reason only 2% of people succeed is because most people lack focus. Focus is one of the most powerful tools for success. Yet it is the one thing that most people struggle to develop. We live in a world full of distractions. Everywhere you look, there is something pulling at your attention. It's called noise. And most people have no control over where their attention goes. They allow themselves to get pulled in every direction. And because of that, they never build momentum. They never make consistent progress. They never stay locked in long enough to see real results. Focus is not something you are born with. It is something you train. The people who succeed at the highest level are not the ones who have the most talent. They are the ones who have trained themselves to eliminate distractions and stay locked in on their goals. They understand that focus is a finite resource, every ounce of attention you give to something that does not move you forward is energy taken away from your success. And that is why the 2% are ruthless about what they allow into their lives. They are selective about how they spend their time. They protect their focus like their life depends on it, because it does. Most people fail because they are too distracted. They start working on one goal, but then they get distracted by a new idea. They start a business, but then they see someone else succeeding in a different field, and they switch directions. They commit to improving themselves, but then they allow social media, television, or conversations with the wrong people to pull them off track. And that is why they stay stuck, because they never stay focused long enough to see real progress. The people who succeed are the ones who know exactly what they want, and they are relentless about protecting their focus. They do not let distractions steal their energy. They do not let other people's opinions pull them away from their mission. They are locked in on their goals, and they refuse to allow anything or anyone to pull them off course. And that is why they keep making progress while everyone else keeps starting and stopping. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing less, but doing it better. Most people fail because they try to do too much at once. They spread themselves thin. They chase multiple goals at the same time. They say yes to everything. Because of that, their energy is scattered. They cannot go all in on anything because their focus is divided across too many things. But the 2% who succeed, they simplify. They narrow their focus. They cut out the noise. They work on one thing at a time with full intensity and full commitment. And that is why they are able to build momentum while everyone else stays overwhelmed. The truth is, focus is a skill. And like any skill, it must be trained. If you have spent your whole life getting distracted, switching goals, and following shiny objects, your mind is not used to staying locked in. But that does not mean you cannot fix it. It means you need to start training your focus like a muscle. You need to learn how to resist distractions, how to stay present, how to keep your mind locked in on one task for long periods of time. And that takes practice. It takes repetition. It takes conscious effort over and over again until focus becomes your natural state. This is why so few people succeed, because training focus is uncomfortable. It is hard to sit down and work when your mind is used to chasing stimulation. It is hard to stay locked in on one goal when everyone around you is telling you to switch paths. It is hard to say no to distractions when your brain is wired to seek immediate gratification. But the people who succeed, they push through that discomfort. They force themselves to stay focused, even when their mind wants to wander. They train themselves to stay locked in when distractions are everywhere. And that is why they are able to build momentum while everyone else stays scattered. The people who succeed are the ones who have trained themselves to control their focus. They do not allow distractions to pull them off track. They are not interested in entertainment or cheap stimulation. They are focused on the process. They are focused on the long game. They know that every ounce of focus they give to the wrong thing is an ounce of energy taken away from their success. And that is why they are relentless about cutting out distractions. And this is the key. You have to protect your focus at all costs. If you are serious about succeeding, you cannot allow yourself to be distracted by things that do not matter. You cannot allow yourself to be pulled into meaningless conversations or useless conflicts. You cannot give your attention to things that do not move you forward. Your focus is your most valuable resource. If you give it to the wrong things, you will never build momentum. If you protect it and direct it toward the right things, you will become unstoppable. Most people fail because they never learn how to say no. They say yes to every invitation, every request, every distraction. They allow other people to control their schedule and their attention. But the 2% who succeed, they're not afraid to say no. They are not afraid to cut people off. They are not afraid to protect their time and energy. They understand that success requires ruthless focus, and that means eliminating anything that interferes with their progress. So ask yourself, where is your focus going? Are you focused on your goals, or are you allowing distractions to pull you off track? Are you directing your energy toward things that matter, or are you wasting time on things that have no long-term value? Because the truth is, your future will reflect where you put your focus today. If you are focused on growth, you will grow. If you are focused on distractions, you will stay stuck. And the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent, it is focus. The 2% who succeed are the ones who have mastered the ability to stay locked in on their goals, no matter what is happening around them. And that is why they win. The reason only 2% of people succeed is because most people are not willing to embrace failure. They fear it. They avoid it. They see failure as a sign that they are not good enough, that they are on the wrong path, that they should give up. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. It is the necessary foundation for growth. And the people who succeed at the highest level are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who use failure. They learn from it. They grow from it. They adjust and come back stronger. And that is why they keep progressing while everyone else gives up. Most people let failure destroy them. They take it personally. When they fail, they start to question themselves. They start to doubt their potential. They convince themselves that maybe success is not for them. And because of that, they stop trying. They settle. They stay stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, because they are too afraid to push through failure. But the 2% who succeed, they understand that failure is feedback. It is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of mastery. Failure is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are trying. It means you are pushing your limits. It means you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. It means you are working towards something meaningful. The people who succeed do not avoid failure. They seek it out. They push themselves to the edge of their ability, knowing that failure is part of the learning process. And that is why they improve so quickly. That is why they rise so fast. Because they are not held back by the fear of failing. They are motivated by the opportunity to grow. Most people play it safe because they want to avoid embarrassment. They do not want to risk looking foolish. They want to protect their ego. But success does not come from comfort. It comes from stepping into discomfort. It comes from risking failure over and over again until you figure it out. The people who succeed are not afraid to look foolish. They are not afraid to stumble. They are not afraid to make mistakes because they know that every failure is making them stronger. Every mistake is teaching them something valuable. Every setback is sharpening their skills and making them better. And here's the truth. Failure is necessary for growth. You cannot reach the next level without it. You cannot master your craft without stumbling along the way. You cannot build true confidence without experiencing setbacks. The 2% who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail more than anyone else. They have failed more times than most people have even tried. And that is why they succeed. Because every time they fail, they make adjustments. They learn, they adapt, they improve, and eventually they figure it out. Most people stop trying after the first few failures. They think that if it is not working right away, it must not be meant for them. They convince themselves that success should come easily. But success is not easy. It never has been. And the people who succeed understand that. They know that failure is part of the price. They know that setbacks are part of the process. And they are willing to keep pushing through it, no matter how long it takes. Failure is not the enemy. It is the test. Life will test you. It will knock you down. It will give you reasons to quit. It will make you question yourself. And most people will give in to that pressure. But the ones who succeed, they are the ones who stand back up. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who say, "Is that all you've got?" And because of that mindset, they keep growing while everyone else stays stuck. The truth is, most people are too soft to handle failure. They crumble at the first sign of adversity. They allow one bad result to make them give up on their entire goal. They are looking for a path without resistance, a path without setbacks. But success does not work that way. If you want to succeed at the highest level, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. You have to accept that failure is part of the process. You have to be willing to take hits and keep going. And most people cannot handle that. That is why they give up before they ever see real progress. The 2% who succeed are the ones who have developed the ability to detach their emotions from failure. When they fail, they do not see it as a reflection of their worth. They see it as data. They analyze it. They ask, what went wrong? What can I adjust? What can I improve? They use failure as fuel to refine their approach. And that is why they keep making progress, because they are constantly improving their strategy, sharpening their execution, and learning from their mistakes. Most people are so emotionally attached to failure that they never get to this level. When they fail, they take it personally. They make it about their identity. They tell themselves, I am not good enough. And that story becomes their reality. But the ones who succeed, they have trained themselves to separate the outcome from their identity. When they fail, they do not say, I am a failure. They say, that approach did not work. What can I adjust? They separate themselves from the result. And that allows them to stay objective. That allows them to keep improving even after multiple failures. And this is why success is so rare. Most people are too fragile. They cannot handle the pressure. They are too sensitive. They take setbacks personally. They are more concerned with protecting their ego than they are with improving. But the 2% who succeed, they do not care about their ego. They are not trying to look good. They are trying to get better. And because of that, they are willing to fail. They are willing to make mistakes. They are willing to risk embarrassment because they know that success comes to the ones who are willing to fail more times than anyone else. So ask yourself, are you willing to fail? Are you willing to take risks even when you know you might stumble? Are you willing to keep showing up even after repeated failures? Are you willing to keep adjusting your approach even when the results are not coming fast enough? Because the truth is, success will not happen without failure. And the ones who succeed are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who face it head on. They take the hit and they keep moving forward. Most people will never succeed because they are not mentally tough enough to handle failure. They are not willing to go through the discomfort. They are not willing to endure the frustration. They are not willing to look foolish. But the 2% who succeed, They are the ones who have conditioned themselves to see failure as part of the process. They are the ones who keep showing up no matter how many times they get knocked down. And that is why they win, because they are the last ones standing. The reason only 2% of people succeed is because most people are not willing to make sacrifices. They want success, but they want comfort. They want progress, but they want to hold on to their old habits. They want to grow, but they are not willing to give up the things that are holding them back. And that is why they stay stuck. Because success requires sacrifice. It requires giving up the things that do not align with your goals. And most people are not willing to let go. The 2% who succeed understand that sacrifice is not optional. It is necessary. If you want to get to the next level, you have to give up certain things. You have to give up comfort. You have to give up distraction. You have to give up easy pleasures. You have to give up relationships that are not serving you. And most people cannot handle that. They want to succeed without giving anything up. They want to grow while staying comfortable. And that is why they fail. Because growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. Most people sabotage their success because they are too attached to their current lifestyle. They are not willing to let go of their habits, their routines, their comforts. They say they want to improve, but they are not willing to change the way they spend their time. They are not willing to cut off negative influences. They are not willing to work when their friends are out partying. They are not willing to invest in their growth because they are too busy chasing comfort. And that is why they stay stuck, because success requires trade-offs. The people who succeed are the ones who are willing to make those trade-offs. They are the ones who are willing to miss the party so they can work on their craft. They are the ones who are willing to wake up at 5 a.m. while everyone else is sleeping. They are the ones who are willing to spend money on books, coaches, and training instead of wasting it on entertainment and comfort. They are the ones who are willing to endure short-term discomfort to create long-term success. And that is why they win, because they are not trying to live a balanced life. They are trying to build an extraordinary life. Most people want balance. They want to grow, but they do not want to give up comfort. They want to succeed, but they are not willing to miss out on fun. They want to reach their goals, but they are not willing to give up their old habits. And that is why they fail. Because success is not about balance. It is about commitment. It is about deciding that your future matters more than temporary pleasure. It is about deciding that your vision matters more than entertainment. It is about deciding that your potential matters more than comfort. The 2% who succeed are the ones who have made that decision. They are the ones who have decided that success is not a maybe. It is a non-negotiable. They are the ones who have decided that they will not stop until they reach their goals. And because of that decision, they are willing to make whatever sacrifices are necessary. They are willing to work when others are resting. They are willing to keep going when others give up. They are willing to say no to distractions, no to comfort, no to anything that pulls them off track. And that is why they rise. Most people fail because they are unwilling to say no. They are too attached to comfort. They are too attached to pleasure. They are too attached to the idea that they can succeed without sacrifice. But the truth is, you cannot have both. You cannot succeed while staying comfortable. You cannot grow while holding on to your old habits. You cannot create the life you want while trying to hold on to the life you already have. If you want to succeed, you have to make room for growth. And that means letting go of the things that are holding you back. Most people know what they need to give up, but they refuse to let go. They know that their social circle is holding them back, but they are too afraid to cut ties. They know that their habits are destroying their progress, but they are too comfortable to change. They know that their environment is limiting their growth, but they are too attached to leave. And that is why they fail, because they refuse to create the space that success requires. But the 2% who succeed, they are not afraid to walk away. They are not afraid to burn the bridges that are holding them back. They are not afraid to create the environment that success demands. And that is why they thrive. Sacrifice is not just about what you give up. It is about what you are making room for. When you cut out distractions, you create space for focus. When you walk away from negative people, you create space for new connections. When you stop wasting time on entertainment, you create space for learning and growth. The 2% who succeed understand that every sacrifice is an investment in their future. They know that short-term discomfort creates long-term freedom. And because they are willing to endure that discomfort, they create results that most people never experience. And here is the truth. If you are not willing to give something up, you will never get to the next level. If you are not willing to cut off distractions, you will never develop focus. If you are not willing to let go of bad habits, you will never develop discipline. If you're not willing to separate yourself from negative people, you will never build positive momentum. Success is not about adding more to your life. It is about removing the things that are slowing you down. And most people will never succeed because they are too afraid to let go. The 2% who succeed are not more talented. They are just more committed. They are the ones who are willing to say, I don't need comfort. I don't need validation. I don't need to be liked. They are the ones who are willing to stay focused while everyone else is distracted. They are the ones who are willing to stay disciplined while everyone else is relaxed. They are the ones who are willing to keep going while everyone else is quitting. And that is why they succeed, because they are not trying to have it all. They are trying to become the best version of themselves. Most people are stuck because they want to keep their old life while trying to create a new one. They want the benefits of success without giving up the habits of failure. But it does not work that way. If you want to succeed, you have to leave your old self behind. You have to become a different person. You have to build different habits, adopt different standards, and develop a different mindset. You have to sacrifice who you are now for who you are becoming. And most people are not willing to do that. That is why they stay stuck. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up comfort? Are you willing to let go of distractions? Are you willing to say no to things that are not aligned with your goals? Because the truth is, success is not about how much you gain. It is about how much you are willing to let go of. And the 2% who succeed are the ones who have made that decision. They have decided that their future matters more than temporary comfort, and that's why they win. The reason only 2% of people succeed is because most people lack resilience. They crumble under pressure. They give up at the first sign of resistance. They expect the path to success to be easy. And when it is not, they convince themselves that it is not meant for them. But the truth is, success is not about how talented you are. It is about how tough you are. It is about how much you can endure without breaking. It is about how many setbacks you can handle without giving up. The 2% who succeed are not the ones who had an easy path. They are the ones who refuse to quit when the path got difficult. Most people fail because they are not mentally tough enough to handle the pressure that success requires. They get discouraged too easily. They expect instant results. They believe that if it is not working right away, it must mean they're doing something wrong. But the truth is, success is a game of resilience. It is about how long you can stay in the game. It is about how many times you can take a hit and keep moving forward. The people who succeed are not the ones who have the fewest failures. They are the ones who have survived the most failures without losing momentum. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path. It will give you reasons to quit. It will make you question yourself. And most people will give in to that pressure. They will convince themselves that it is not worth it. They will tell themselves that they were not meant to succeed. But the 2% who succeed, they are the ones who refuse to give in. They are the ones who stay calm under pressure. They are the ones who take the hit, adjust their strategy, and keep moving forward. And that is why they keep rising while everyone else stays stuck. Most people do not fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they lack the ability to handle setbacks. They allow one failure to define them. They allow one rejection to make them give up on their entire goal. They allow one bad day to throw them off course for months. But the 2% who succeed, they do not allow temporary setbacks to dictate their future. They have conditioned themselves to expect challenges. They know that obstacles are part of the process. They know that setbacks are part of the game. And because they expect it, they are not surprised when it happens. They stay locked in. They keep moving forward. And because of that mindset, they keep gaining ground while everyone else stops. The truth is, success is not about how you perform when everything is going well. It is about how you respond when nothing is working. Most people can stay motivated when things are easy. Most people can work hard when they are seeing results. Most people can stay disciplined when life is cooperating. But that is not when success is built. Success is built in the moments when nothing is working, when the results are not showing up, when everything feels impossible. And the 2% who succeed are the ones who keep showing up in those moments. They are the ones who work harder when progress is slow. They are the ones who stay consistent when motivation is gone. They are the ones who push forward when there is no visible reason to keep going. And because of that, they eventually break through while everyone else gives up. Resilience is not about strength. It is about the ability to adapt. The people who succeed are not necessarily the strongest. They are the most adaptable. They know that life will not always go according to plan. They know that. Unexpected challenges will show up. They know that their original strategy might not work, and they are okay with that. They adjust. They adapt. They pivot when necessary. They are not attached to one plan. They are committed to the goal. And that ability to adapt is why they keep progressing while everyone else gets stuck. Most people fail because they are too rigid. They have one plan, and when that plan does not work, they stop. They convince themselves that success is not possible. But the 2% who succeed, they are not attached to the plan. They are attached to the outcome. If one strategy does not work, they adjust it. If one path is blocked, they find another way. If one door closes, they knock on another. And because they refuse to give up, they eventually find a way through. And here's the truth. Your ability to adapt determines your ability to succeed. If you expect everything to go according to plan, you will fail. If you expect life to cooperate with you, you will fail. If you expect success to be a straight line, you will fail. The 2% who succeed are the ones who expect challenges. And because they expect it, they are not surprised when it shows up. They adjust, they learn, they adapt. And because of that mindset, they keep making progress while everyone else quits. Resilience is not just about mental toughness. It is about emotional control. Most people fail because they allow their emotions to dictate their behavior. When things get hard, they panic. When they face resistance, they get emotional. When things are not working, they lose focus. But the people who succeed have trained themselves to stay calm under pressure. They have learned how to control their emotional state. They do not panic when things go wrong. They adjust. They do not let setbacks shake their confidence. They stay focused. They do not allow frustration to make them quit. They use it as fuel to keep going. And that emotional control is why they keep progressing when everyone else is breaking down. The truth is, success is about endurance. It is about how long you can stay in the game. Most people quit too soon. They face a few challenges, and they convince themselves that it is not working. But the 2% who succeed, they know that success is not about how you start. It is about how long you can keep going. They are the ones who keep moving forward when everyone else has given up. They are the ones who refuse to let setbacks define them. They are the ones who keep showing up when there is no immediate payoff. And because of that, they eventually win. Most people are not resilient enough to succeed. They are mentally soft. They are emotionally fragile. They want success to be easy. And when it is not, they crumble. But the 2% who succeed, they are built differently. They expect adversity. They welcome pressure. They are not afraid of setbacks. They use them as stepping stones. And because they refuse to quit, they build momentum while everyone else is stopping and starting. So ask yourself, how resilient are you? Are you strong enough to handle setbacks without giving up? Are you disciplined enough to stay focused when results are not coming fast enough? Are you mentally tough enough to keep moving forward when nothing seems to be working? Because the truth is, success will not happen without resistance. And the 2% who succeed are the ones who have trained themselves to stay calm under pressure, to stay focused through failure, and to keep working when everything around them is falling apart. That is why they win, because they are the ones who keep going when everyone else stops. Now you understand why only 2% of people succeed. It is not about talent. It is not about luck. It is not about opportunities. It is about commitment. The 2% who succeed are not necessarily more gifted. They are just more focused, more disciplined, more resilient. They are the ones who are willing to work harder and longer than anyone else. They are the ones who are willing to sacrifice comfort for progress. They are the ones who are willing to push through failure, to stay focused when distractions are everywhere, to keep moving forward when nothing seems to be working. And that is why they rise while everyone else stays stuck. Success is not about starting strong. It is about staying consistent. Most people can push themselves for a short time. Most people can stay motivated for a few weeks, but the ones who succeed are the ones who stay locked in for years. They are the ones who have trained themselves to work, not because they feel like it, but because they have made it a habit. They are the ones who stay focused when life gets chaotic. They are the ones who keep showing up when progress is slow. They are the ones who keep going when everyone else gives up. And that is why they win, because they outlast everyone else. Most people fail because they expect success to be easy. They think that if they work hard for a little while, the results will come automatically. But that is not how success works. Success requires patience. Success requires persistence. Success requires endurance. The people who succeed are the ones who are willing to stay in the game long after everyone else has quit. They are the ones who understand that the process will not be easy, but it will be worth it. The 2% who succeed are not driven by comfort. They are driven by progress. They are not motivated by results. They are motivated by the process. They are not controlled by emotions. They are controlled by commitment. And that is why they succeed while everyone else struggles. Because they are not looking for shortcuts. They are not looking for the easy way. They are not hoping for success. They are building it day after day, year after year, without excuses, without compromise, without negotiation. And that is the difference. The 98% who fail are not incapable. They are just inconsistent. They are undisciplined. They are distracted. They give up too soon. They are controlled by comfort instead of commitment. But the 2% who succeed, they have trained themselves to operate differently. They have conditioned themselves to execute without hesitation. They have removed negotiation from their life. They have committed to the process fully, and that is why they succeed, while everyone else stays stuck. So now the decision is yours. Are you willing to join the 2%? Are you willing to give up comfort for progress? Are you willing to push through failure, stay focused through resistance, and remain committed even when motivation is gone? Are you willing to keep going when nothing is working, when progress is invisible, when every part of you wants to quit? Because the truth is, success is not for the ones who are the most talented. It is for the ones who refuse to quit. Most people will never reach their potential because they are too comfortable. They are too easily distracted. They are too quick to quit. But the 2% who succeed, they are not special. They are simply more committed, more focused, more disciplined, more resilient. And because of that, they keep winning while everyone else keeps stopping and starting. Now you know the truth. Success is not a mystery. It is a decision to commit fully, a decision to eliminate distractions, a decision to push through resistance, a decision to execute without hesitation, a decision to stay focused, disciplined, and resilient, no matter what. That is why only 2% succeed, because most people are not willing to make that decision. But the ones who do, they build a life that most people only dream about.